Welcome to today's video, guys. Today we're going to talk about test driving the 2019 TRD Pro Tundra versus the Platinum, and then there's a couple different trim options as well. So basically, I had to test drive all of these. I tried to watch some YouTube videos to sort of get a handle on it. Let me start this thing up and get some AC going so we're not sweating to death. But basically, there were some fundamental differences between the models, and there was some stuff that I didn't understand just based on watching YouTube reviews. So one of the things that I would like to talk about is the on-road handling, right? Everyone talks about the TRD Pro, and which is what we're sitting in right now, Voodoo Blue 2019 TRD Pro. It's got a couple of options. It's got the upgraded tires, so the handling is a little bit different. But unless you can find a dealership that has multiple Tundras in all the different trim levels, you really don't get a feel for what the on-road driving performance or differences are from a lot of the YouTube reviews. And that's what was lacking. My cousin and I drove from Orlando to a dealership up in Leesburg, Florida, at Phillips Toyota. Didn't have the greatest experience there. I ended up not buying from there. We went over to Parks Toyota of DeLand, and it was a great experience. Awesome. Sales manager was great. Finance guy was great. Salesman was great. Everything was awesome. But one of the fundamental, or one of the bonuses that we got out of taking that trip is that they had they had three 2019 Voodoo Blue Tundras. And one of them had the 18-inch wheels with Michelin street tires on it. One of them had the 18-inch wheels with the Nitto Grappler off-road tire upgrade on it. And the other one was a Toyota Platinum with the 20-inch wheels, which is a little lower profile Michelin street tires. I'll just call them street tires. And I got to drive all three back to back. And so unfortunately, I didn't take the camera with me, but it's still fresh in my mind, and I want to make a video that kind of describes the on-road handling characteristics of each, some of the noise levels, some of the things that I liked and didn't like. Let me get rid of my gum so I'm not... I hate it when people do that, you know, they're trying to make a video and they're... It's like, dude, do you realize what you're doing? So anyway, first thing that I drove was the Tundra with the street tires with the Michelins on it. Now, the handling was a little bit tighter on that, as you would expect from the Nitto Grappler package. However, I think the dealership had the Nitto Grapplers underinflated. It felt spongy to me. There was noticeably less body roll on the street tire Michelin package. However, the Tundra that I ended up buying has Nitto Grapplers on it, the one that we're sitting in right now, and everything's aired up properly. There's not excessive body roll. I mean, I shouldn't say that. There's body roll on a Tundra. You know, Corvette-like handling is not its strong suit. It is a gigantic truck if you're coming from a 4Runner like I was, in the handling department, right? Yeah, it's a full size. It handles pretty good for what it is. The Fox suspension does great. I haven't taken it up into the mountains yet, but we're getting ready to do the 1,500-mile trek to Maine, and so we'll really be able to put it to the test. We'll make, update videos, blah, blah, blah. But the main difference is, just talking about going up to the mountains, my ears popped. How's that for memory? So anyway, long story short, I drove all the Tundras in all different trim models. Then I drove the Platinum. And I had it in my mind from watching other people's YouTube videos that there was going to be this monumental, luxurious difference. Like, everyone said that it had Lexus quality leather. They said that the seats were more comfortable, it was more plush, all this stuff. Basically, the consensus online from the forums, like I read tundras.com and some other, truck forums and things like that, and everyone was saying, buy a Platinum for $8,000 less, get the TRD exhaust, get your aftermarket tires and wheels, do this, do that, basically make it into a Platinum TRD Pro, which I think in 2019 is probably the ultimate Tundra if you have the time and money to fiddle fuck around and do that kind of stuff. For me personally, it worked out to where it was just better to get it turnkey, right? And the major selling point to me, I know this is going to sound shallow, but it was the Voodoo Blue. Once I realized that you cannot get a Platinum in the Voodoo Blue for 2019, and then I thought, well, wait a second, maybe I'm just being short-sighted and I should wait a year for the 2020s to come out. So I went on the Toyota website, or I looked up the press releases and stuff. Lo and behold, they're not going to offer Voodoo Blue for 2020. So I think in 2020 they're going to do a refresh and some of this stuff will be addressed. I think they're going to do a major overhaul in 2021, so I'll probably trade this one and get that model. It should have all the creature comforts like the big three I would anticipate, and all these little gripes and things and comparisons and all that stuff that we're talking about now will probably come a moot point by that time. But here's the deal. Driving characteristics between the Platinum and the different TRD models with different trim packages and tire combos, the Platinum is stiffer because it has 20-inch wheels and low-profile tires. There is a little bit less body roll. However, I was not impressed. It did not have Lexus quality-like comfort. The seats were a little bit more comfortable. Maybe there's not a huge difference because neither of the three trucks that I drove back to back were broken in yet. So maybe it becomes more supple over time. There are some things on the Platinum that are definitely a huge selling point and would be a selling point for me. If you could get a Platinum in Voodoo Blue, I would completely, wholeheartedly agree with everyone on the internet. Get a Platinum and make it TRD Pro. Not that I really want to have to mess with getting Fox shocks and changing the suspension and putting on the TRD dual exhaust. I have to tell you, the TRD exhaust sounds phenomenal. It is just great. There's not a drone, in the truck when you're cruising on the highway. It's not too loud. It's just loud enough. When you get on it, you know that rumble is there. It is just awesome. I absolutely love the color. I love the exhaust, and I love the torque of the 5.7. It runs great, performs great. We'll see what the mileage turns out to be. But anyway, so there are a couple things on the Platinum where if this is important to you, you're going to be disappointed with the TRD Pro, because I'm disappointed with a few things. Number one, the Platinum comes with power seats on both sides, right? So there's driver and passenger powered motorized seats. There's memory seats on the driver's side. You've got 3 selections. So if you got multiple people driving the truck, and it also expands when you open up, right? These people are wondering what I'm doing. This truck doesn't exactly blend in. It's not camo. The steering wheel collapses and the seat goes back when you open the door, which is, in line with, a much more luxurious truck. This doesn't do any of that. I would say that the power seat adjustments on the driver's seat are antiquated. They're like, okay. It doesn't have one touch up down for the windows. Even my 4Runner had an auto up down for the rear glass. So this one you have to hold it down, which is nuts. If it's raining or something, you want to be able to touch that once. But in the Platinum, it has those features. I don't know if the rear window is auto up down in the Platinum actually, but it has the option for heated seats, AC seats. It comes with those, which this does not have heated seats. So if you're in the north, kind of sucks. My 4Runner that is old as hell, came with heated seats. It's just ridiculous that the TRD Pro is more expensive than a Platinum and it doesn't come with these basic things. It doesn't have dual climate control, the TRD Pro, whereas the Platinum does have dual climate control. What else? But really I wanted to talk about the driving experience, because I expected the road noise to be less in the Platinum. I expected the handling to be much tighter. It was a little bit tighter. I wouldn't say that it was much tighter. I wouldn't say that the on-road, comfort was much better than a TRD Pro, which is definitely saying something. I would expect a Platinum to have better on-road handling characteristics. And it was just kind of eye-opening to me to drive them all back to back. And I don't think a lot of people do that. And so you really just get a different perspective. So, but other than that, I'm still pretty happy with the TRD Pro. Obviously, I'd be really happy with it if it had some of these features. But if you're trying to decide between a TRD Pro, an upgraded TRD Pro with the Nitto Grappler tires and a few other things that come with that package, or a Platinum, these are things to consider. I mean, the base of the truck is the same, but if you really appreciate the exhaust note, you're gonna miss the TRD exhaust. If you really wanna go off-road, you're gonna miss the Fox suspension, and it already has aftermarket tires and wheels if you get that package. So I don't know if it's worth trying to make a Platinum into a TRD Pro, but if you did, you would pretty much have the ultimate truck However, until they do the refresh, you're still not going to have Apple CarPlay. You're still not going to have, you know, just the multimedia center itself, like the, I've got to tell you, on all three, doesn't matter what it is, just all the Tundras, the backup camera screen or just the multimedia experience, if you come from like an Audi or some of my other friends have different vehicles, it's it's kind of ridiculous. And one thing that sort of really irks me is that Toyota offers some of this stuff all in one in other Toyota models that are a lot less money. Like my mom's Toyota RAV4, her tech package is way better than what's in the Tundra. My cousin's Toyota Prius, the technology packages that are available in those models are way better than what's available in the Tundra. So it's just, you know, I guess we just have to come to terms with the fact that this is meant for off-road. Toyotas are a little bit outdated. They're never going to leave you stranded. We don't have to worry about four-wheel drive malfunctions, although it does drive me nuts that the 4Runner has the diff lock and the TRD Pro 2019 Tundra does not. In fact, there aren't really any four-wheel drive settings. There's no crawl control up top. There's no, yeah, they just forgot about us, I guess. But anyway, if you want Voodoo Blue, if you want a cool truck, if you want Fox suspension, it's still awesome. It sounds amazing. I love the power, love the color. Had to go with the TRD Pro over the Platinum because I've got to tell you, once you see them side by side and you fall in love with the looks and the aggressive nature and just the overall appeal of the TRD Pro, like if you appreciate the subtle differences and the color options, the Platinum just doesn't stand a chance in the looks department. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see the new Tundra videos that are coming out. Like the video. Use the comment system down below to tell me what kind of Tundra videos you want to see next week. If it wasn't raining today, we'd send the drone up. We're going to do some flybys. We're going to get some exterior footage whenever the truck is clean. I want you to see what it really looks like when it goes down the road. I know some other channels have done some off-road tests, but until we get up to Maine and the mountains, it's mostly going to be on-road, which I don't think a lot of people have done. On-road handling characteristics are pretty good. One of the things that we haven't tested out yet is the traction control. As a general rule, the traction control in my Toyota 4Runner was amazing. If it was wet out, it would automatically independently brake right, you know, front or right. Geez, I can't talk today. It would basically compensate to straighten the vehicle out in a turn when it was wet out. But earlier driving today, I kind of broke the rear end loose a little bit and it started to come around. We're going to put that to the test in a safe environment and see if this has the auto correction feature and it works just as good as that. But let me know. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment down below with what you want to see next. Have a great day, guys. See you in tomorrow's video.